We were meant to be together, didn't care what others said. We were meant to be forever. I've been dreaming about this moment. I can barely breathe. Feel like I've been drowning. Pulling me to the ground, tears streaming down my face. My chest hurts, I can't escape. There's no going back now. Will you miss me when I'm gone? Will you think of me when
And I'm here. Just a second. Okay, sorry. Hope the new mic and the sound and everything is working great. I see that it is peaking a bit. Hi, Lee. Nice seeing you here. Rasby, morning. Mark, hi. It's a bit too loud. Let me try and fix it. I was setting it up yesterday for a long time. Let me see if it's better now. I don't know if you can hear the music. I cannot hear anything. Not myself, not the music. Hey, Mattia, hi. So sorry, I had to pick up my dog. We are alone. Everybody abandoned us. Yeah. Wife and a kid went to the theater or cinema, and the other one went out with the friends, and the dog feels a bit left out, so I had to pick him up. So it will be interesting stream. So nice to see everybody here. Well, let's just jump into this because yeah, there are a lot of topics I want to talk today. Of course, I forgot to open the window here. Let me. I just see that my CPU is peaking. Okay, this, yeah, okay, so I have notes here. So let's jump into the what's new. The best thing for me is statistics. I love statistics, but we will be talking about it a little bit later. Let me open it here. So if anybody still hasn't updated to 2021.4 or April version of the Home Assistant, the best thing for me is this automation debugging, because it will help me a lot in the future. Unfortunately, I still have to check a couple of automations. I did use this automation debugging on a couple of my automations in my main setup, but the most complex automations I have are automations based on related to the school for the kids, and as they were on the school break, spring school break, that's the Easter week, I couldn't test them because they just didn't run, because if it's not a school day and work day, the automations just don't run. But let's quickly dive through all the automations. So database upgrade, I see that a lot of people had to wait 5-10 minutes for the update. For me, it was something like that. And yes, by the way, I also have now InfluxDB problem. I didn't upgrade my InfluxDB from the version 1.8, but somehow on my main setup, Docker crashed, which never happened before. And when it rebooted or restarted itself, just the Docker, not the Synology, whole of my system restarting, meaning every Docker container, every single Docker container I have restarted. That was including the Watchtower, and of course Watchtower then did the upgrade of the InfluxDB. So yeah, now I've lost my InfluxDB. Okay, automation debugging. Let me switch to my main setup because I love this new thing. Let me select it here. Let's go to configuration, automations. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've updated your own system. Let me see. Nothing here. Kitchen motion, nothing. Those are all simple automations. Are really boring for debug because you get only, you know, rule. If the state changes or the state didn't change, you see why something did happen or didn't happen. So the first step was the binary kitchen sensor triggered, and because of that the timer started. Yeah, the timer started. So let's go to the Mattia, maybe. I don't think so, because I don't have. Yeah, that's a story we will be talking about later on. I wasn't planning to talk about the Synology, but we will definitely have to talk about it. And I don't have automatic updates enabled on my main setup, or in my summer house I do have, because if nothing critical happens, let it just update by itself. But here I'm really cautious of all the systems and everything I'm running, so I keep that on manual update. and I didn't update the Docker. Yeah, but we will be talking later on about it, because unfortunately one thing happened with the synology which really is critical issue for me, and you, if you're on the Discord, you've probably seen problem with the 6.2.4 DSM. School. Oh no, this everything here is very simple. Home assistant update. Oh, gas sensor. I don't know if anybody is using Shelly's gas sensor. One thing that we noticed is that it reacts to the chemicals when you spray near them. Chemicals used to, disinfect and clean the working space in the kitchen. So anytime my wife disinfects the kitchen countertop, it registers this and triggers gas alarm. But on the other hand, since you never know if this is a false positive or really positive, each time we all in the family, this is automation where we all four of us receive mobile notifications, voice notifications, because yeah, you want to be notified if there is a leak. So it happens all the time when I'm at work, and every time I receive that notification, I send to the family group message saying, okay, is everybody alive? Meaning that if it's a test or result of the cleaning and not of the actual gas leak. So unfortunately, no. Fortunately, every time so far it was just a false alarm. Yeah. Let's see. All these automations are really, really simple ones. So I'm really waiting for those complex automations, which will start next week when the kids start to go both to online school and real school, brick and mortar school. Unfortunately, we are again in some kind of semi-lockdown. So this is automation, sensor low batteries, checking the status, and then we get notifications from that. So I really do like it because it helps you. This debugging really helps you see when something triggered, why for example something didn't trigger when you were expecting it to trigger, and things like that. So I really think that this will be really helpful for me in the future, especially in the complex automations. But as I said, currently I can't remember of any complex automation that I have running at my system. So and also it's I've updated my system on the Thursday or Friday main setup, so a lot of automation still didn't run for the first time. I was really surprised when I was looking at these last triggered to see that some automations haven't been run for the year and a half. But then I remember that those are the automations I really do not use anymore. These are the automations that allow me to display the menus inside Telegram, and then use menus to control lights, devices, and things like that, which is really awesome as a gimmick, as foldable phones. But you don't use it. It's much easier for me to go either to the Home Assistant app on the phone or Home Assistant on PC, or just use voice to control the devices. So yeah, that's it. Let's go back to the where is it? Yep, it's here. So these are the automations. One other thing that I love even more is the analytics. I really like numbers. I really like to compare stuff and see. Hi, Pedro. Nice seeing you here. One of the great things is adding these analytics, because previously we were using the updater component to, if we opt in, to send our information about the plugins we are using, integrations, and the system. Now it's done a bit differently. Let me see if we can open it here. So these are the current analytics or statistics for the Home Assistant. Currently we have a little bit less than 10,000 active Home Assistant installations, which is really strange because on the page for the Home Assistant news, you can see that there were 25,000 likes on the post about new version of Home Assistant. So two things. First, I think that a lot of people still haven't updated, and second, from all those that did update, a lot didn't opt in. But I did find one thing funny here is when I zoom into Croatia, there are 19 installations currently. We are talking 3-4 days after the release that are showing in the stats, and out of these 19 installations, 3 are mine. So I'm currently covering 15% of all the installations inside Croatia, which is funny. Yeah. Okay. I really love those statistics, and it's really strange, or it's really funny to see the numbers between the regions, countries, and etc. This is the number of the percentage of different versions that are currently on. So we have how much? 0.2% already on the 5.0 dev beta version, or dev version, not beta, sorry. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4.1, 4.2, 4.0, and 4.3. Majority of the people are still on the 4.1 version, and on the latest version, this is 4.3 that has been released, I think, today. We only have 7.8%. Also, what I like is this information, because it really helps me also to plan some future videos. You can see that almost 70% of people using Home Assistant are using the operating system version, meaning either running it on the Raspberry Pi, on the Blue machine, or virtual machines, or things like that. So almost 70% of people are running it like that. But there are also 3% of people who are running it in the core. You will not see Home Assistant on SIO because, yeah, SIO is not working. Unfortunately, these here still haven't been updated. I think they are the same as they were on the day of the release. And as you can see, out of 9,553 installations, only 600 or only 7,000 have allowed statistics to be shared. But we do not have anything here, and this is, as I said, the same data that was available here during the last few days of beta testing. So yeah. And integrations, this is fun, and I was really amazed to see that 95% have Amazon Alexa. I knew that a lot of people were using, but to have 95% of all the people using Amazon Alexa was a surprise to me, I have to admit, and it also made me think in what direction I will go in the future. As you know, I don't have any Amazon device. I was really trying to get my hands on one last week, and week before that I posted some crazy images on the internet, because first of all, we do not have Amazon.hr for Croatia. When you go to that URL, you are forwarded to the German site, and most of the things that I buy off Amazon, I buy from the German website. So I tried to buy, and I was offered, so I was making a purchase. I was buying this new mic, Elgato Wave 3. So I was buying a new mic, and I bought everything for it, and from some times before, I already had a Tile keychain made 2020 version in the shopping cart. So I said yeah, and when I said okay, I'll buy this also, it suggested to bundle it with the Amazon Echo, and the price was for the bundle was even cheaper. So I said okay, no problem, and I tried to purchase it, and it didn't allow me to buy it because they are only shipping it to the Germany and Austria. So okay, I said never mind. I ordered everything else, and I said I'll try to buy from some other Amazon site. Then I went to the Amazon Italy, Amazon UK, Amazon whatever. I don't even know what was the other site. And no way. If I go to UK, I can only buy it in the UK and Ireland. If I go to Italy, I can buy it only for the Italy. So wherever I go, I can only buy it for that country. The stupid thing is that if I go by car in Austria, it's, I would say, 1 hour and a half, maybe maximum drive by car. I can go there in a shop and I can buy Amazon Alexa. And not counting, of course, the highways and the fuel, it would be the same price as I would buy it anywhere else in the Europe. Here the shops have it, but since it's not really available in Croatia officially, the prices are crazy. So, for example, if the device is if you can buy the Amazon Echo device on the Amazon site for 49 euros, you can buy it here for the equivalent of 79 euros. And I just don't want to spend 30 euros tax for the idiots to buy it locally here. So unless I find the other way, I'll be waiting until it officially arrives in Croatia, which, as I said, is really a shame, because I cannot say it's good, I cannot say it's bad, because I haven't tested it. So I really would like to get my hands on one to test it, but yeah. Yeah, Raspberry. The I wouldn't say the problem. The path that Amazon has taken has really they have embraced the device. You can see it just by adding the Zigbee module inside. You know, they are thinking ahead and trying to get more devices in the ecosystem and then make people use it more, which is not something that Google has been doing. Google hasn't made a way to do scenes and things like that for a very, very long time. Yeah, you can go to developer site and develop whatever you want, but that's my other option. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Johnny. Nice seeing you too here. So, Mark, yeah, that's my option. I probably, on one side, I really would like to get my hands on it, but I would really like to get, you know, I don't know why, from the official shop on the eBay. I can also get it, and if I will not be able to buy it in a couple of weeks through the Amazon, I have my ways. I have relatives in Italy, so at the end I may just, you know, get fed up and order it to their place and make them send me here by a post. That's it. Well, okay, we twitched, something moved. We thought it was earthquake, but it was just a gust of wind or something like that. Yeah, it is. I was really surprised. Okay, I don't know if it's a earthquake or something, or just the wind, because everything is moving a bit now. Let's pretend that nothing is going on. My dog is really scared from the earthquakes, and yeah. Okay, so where were we? I've seen today's video from the I was seeing today's video from the Hibbert, and he was talking about the Siri, and I was really impressed to see such user-friendly way to do automations inside the system itself. I don't care about it, but for the people that do not use Home Assistant, to have that ability is, you know, 10 or 20% of the abilities that Home Assistant has, that may be enough for them. So having Siri been able to do that, having Alexa been able to do that, it's really strange for the Google devices to, you know, not be able to do that. Even the Shelly app for Shelly's has a lot more of customizing than the... Okay, Mattia, yeah. Nice knowing. So, you know, to be able to have that functionality inside the built-in system would really be great. Let me jump back to the whatever I was previously. Okay, over here. So analytics, warnings for unidentified variables. I have to be honest, I did already see a couple of warnings here. I do have to change. I'm using currently OBS with the stream elements, and it's great, but it's not working as I would like it to work. So I'll probably have to do a complete system overhaul once again, which I really do not want to do, but nah, doesn't matter. I already did receive this. So when from what I gather is when the system is booting or when it is expecting to have variable and it's lacking in the templates, you will now get notifications that something is undefined, which I did get for a couple of my automations, and I still have to fix it. I was just a couple of days ago, finally I was able, I think it was on the Wednesday when I finished releasing the video, I was finally being able to touch my system and do something on my system, my production system. I was cleaning a lot of stuff. I was fixing a lot of stuff. I made some 10 commits, 12 commits during this couple of days, Wednesday and Thursday, I think, because yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I cannot, let me just check it once again. Settings. This is in the videos. Let me open it here. Unfortunately, you cannot see it. It was in the video, and I'm using NVIDIA encoder, the new one. As I said, we were talking on the Twitter about the previous video, not last video, but video before that, for the Anke camera, where whatever I did, I wasn't able to catch the image from the camera. It was showing here nicely, but I think that it looked more like a digital rights management system blocking recording than the issue with the video itself. But somehow I wasn't able to record no matter what I did. I did a window capture, I did desktop capture, I changed couple of ways the video is processed for the OBS, but yeah, I missed it, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Selection window settings. I will check it a little bit later. Filtering automations, I didn't bother doing it, but since we are here, let me once again try it on my main setup. So how should this work? Okay, just go to whatever and do filtering and filter by area. Not, let's try by a device. Shell gas. So I have shell gas with no area and shell gas kitchen, which I presume for the shell gas I'm using two integrations. I'm using internal Home Assistant integration, and I'm also using the MQTT, and I do find MQTT to be better for the shell gas, actually better for the shell gas and for the motion sensor, Shelly motion sensor, and also for the button. All those three devices from Shelly respond much quicker over MQTT than they respond when you use them by either using Shelly for HAS or the Shelly internal integration. And also, I think that Shelly internal integration for gas didn't have all the sensors available. Shelly for HAS did have all gas sensors available, but then Shelly motion detector was vice versa. It didn't have all exposed devices in the Shelly for HAS, and it did have all of them inside a Shelly, Home Assistant internal integration. So that's at the end why I decided to mostly go with the MQTT, because you just simply expose all the device entities, you pull them in a Home Assistant, and responses are much better, and it's working almost the same. It really is working the same. So filters, filter by entity, balcony motion. Let's see what motion we have here. Kitchen motion, daylight, stop timer. Okay, this really helps, but unfortunately most of that stuff I do inside the VS Code, so it will not help me that much. Wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. Okay, Z-Wave JavaScript update, trigger-based template sensors. I didn't play with it. At this point, I still do not know for what I could use them. For example, maybe I could use them between the Home Assistant and the surveillance station. But yeah, I'm not sure for what I would use. But it's also great ability to be able to push to have a webhook that would register something, but also receive some variables over that. Leonardo, I don't use it. We had debate about it, or we had a talk. There are a lot of people that use Node-RED, and I wouldn't say I envy them, but they do fantastic stuff inside the Node-RED. It's a great visual tool. But for me, visually more clear is to use the YAML code and go through the YAML code. So that's why I do all the automations, even the complex ones, even the ones that require you to do a lot of stuff, to create a bunch of additional sensors, binary sensors and things like that, or input fields. I still do them inside Visual Studio Code. And I never did find Node-RED to be that much more efficient than the way I'm doing it here. But it all depends on probably on what you are accustomed to before. I'm not a programmer. I did work with a couple of visual programming tools that you do blocks and things like that. And I think that Node-RED is really great concept. For example, with the kids, I did how it's called, this small BBC device. Oh my god, not Raspberry Pi, but Microbot. Yeah, BBC Microbot or something like that. They provide a lot of graphical tools for the kids for the programming, and when I was trying to see if the kids will eventually be interested in that or not, we were doing visual programming. And it's really fun. It's easy and whatever. But for me, it was always easier to look at the code and read the text than to look at the graphics. I love graphics. I love graphs. I love data. But for me, it's just much easier. I did try a couple of times, but as Lee said, I also didn't have enough time to do it, and I have less and less time with each passing day. So I know that I will never BBC Micro. Yeah. It is better, and I really love it. I still have older version. I wanted to buy the new version. It was like, what am I going to do with it? Kids are definitely not interested, and it's a nice gadget, but I do not need it definitely. But the new version is really great. They did add a lot of stuff on it, and it's really funny to see credit card sized all-in-one PC that includes display, which is of course LEDs, but matrix displays with motion sensors or gyro inside, buttons and things like that. I really like the device, and I really do think that every kid when it enrolls in a school should get one of these free of charge, because it's awesome. It's completely useless in terms of if they will eventually do something with it, but there were some couple of really nice projects that people did even with it, and it's really funny. The maximum my kids use it for was to make a dice out of it. So you press the button and the numbers changed randomly, so you get a dice like device. But it's funny. Okay, use selectors for script fields. Yeah, they added something that was not available in the last version, but it's now added. Here, more or less, nothing special. Oh, it's my dog. Little bit restless. New integrations, new platforms. They added support for the fans, sensors, and lights. Which funny is, last video I made was also Xiaomi Mio for the Xiaomi or Roborock vacuum cleaners, or sorry, robots. And when I was doing it at my place, so my main setup, because I knew that I knew that I would not be able to make a video, and also it would be really bad to make a video of the device that you just got that you never seen, and you want to cover everything. I didn't want to do. I don't do reviews, typical reviews in terms of, you know, this is a shiny special white is my color of the vacuum. It has LiDAR on top of it, you know, bumper, one brush, side brush, and things like that, because that's not it. Everybody knows it. I really wanted to cover the part with integration inside Home Assistant. If you are able to pull the map, how you're able to pull the map, to see if the token part has improved since I tried to do it a year and a half ago. And at that point, I was on the version, I was not on the 2021.3, I was on 2021.2, and at that version you still had to do manual configuration, you know, in the YAML file, configure everything. And then when I started recording this video, I was going through the configuration in the YAML file and said, no, for this device you need to go to the UI. So it's really funny how how things really do improve very fast in terms of Home Assistant. When I say fast, you really do not know if something old will stop working. And when I said stop working, no, it didn't stop working, just the process has been simplified, so it's much more easier for all the other users to use it, not to spend hours, you know, going through the documentation and things like that. But version 2021 4.0 had a bit of issues. I know that a lot of people from 3 of my setups, on 2 of them I had issues with the speed test. On one, I don't know how, but it was still working. My main setup, it was working. On my summer house and in my recording setup, it didn't work. So far in the 3 days, we already had 3 releases. So version from the April 8th, 9th, and 10th. And I've tested, I think my recording setup is already on the version 4.3, but my main setup is still on version 4.1, I think, and I didn't want to update it today. Yeah, because if anything went wrong, I would have just too much stuff to do, and I didn't want to, you know, spend the whole day. So this covers, well, 30 minutes about talking about the nothing, talking about something that they already talked about, stream. Version warning changed. I didn't see any changes for me. In terms, it's still working as it was for me. As we said, fan, sensor, and lights has now changed. Secrets, I have to be honest, I had issue with that. It was issue that it was picking up secrets from the, which was it, from the sensors file. In sensors file, I had a couple of secrets defined, and I wasn't able to boot my system or restart my system, or when I forced restart, meaning, you know, physically reboot it almost, I killed the host and restarted it. It didn't load any sensors, it was breaking, and I had problems with the secrets file, and at the end it ended up being completely unrelated issue where some of the old JavaScripts that were used inside Lovelace were killing it. So I removed all the JavaScript, from the Lovelace UI that are not handled anymore by HSCS. So everything I had before installing HSCS and moving all the components to HSCS, if there was anything left there, I killed. everything except one of the new cards that I'm testing currently for the PESOR. This is the card that will be used in the future for the high grow to better visually represent the status of the plants. So this is currently the only card I have installed inside my main setup for the Lovelace that is not handled by the HSCS. And it looks like I'm sneezing, but yeah, sorry. And that made me really think, because those were the components that I installed 3 years ago. When I said components, I mean those JavaScripts. And it means that I didn't update any one of them for 3 years. So I also, in that time, I went through the process to check if those cards exist in the HSCS, to replace them with the HSCS version. And, you know, for example, I had one card that was, you know, version 0.1.0, and now it's on version 3.4.7. So it really makes you think on critical issues, security issues, and everything that was going on, both Home Assistant and worldwide, is that, you know, your system really is as vulnerable as the least secure component or least maintained component that you are using. So yeah, funny. HomeKit, nothing here, nothing here. Anybody still using Ubiquiti, or has everybody migrated to something else after those security issues? I'm just being sarcastic, sorry. MQTT Lite, nothing. Greedy has been removed. If anybody is maybe using Social Blade will be removed in the next version because it's still using the web scraping. I've already removed it because it stopped working. Okay, so let's go to the fun part. TTS, you mean TTS version from the Nabukasa, or the TTS as in standard whatever I'm using, Google TTS? Because I know that Nabukasa really has great text-to-speech component, but Nabukasa, yeah, they really have great speech component, but to be honest, I'm not using it. I do not want to use it. This is really stupid reason why I'm not using it and why I will not be using it. I did test it, and it's the perfect in Croatian. It's even speaking better Croatian than I speak Croatian. All the languages are, and I love what they did with the text to speech. But I'm paying Nabukasa subscription just to be able to support devs. And in my crazy head, and yeah, my head has issues, a lot of issues. I said to myself, if I would use any part of Nabukasa system, then I would really be using resources, and I do not want to, you know, that money that goes into Nabukasa, I don't want to spend anything out of it. I really do want that to go to the developers, you know, the project itself, and not consume anything from it. So this is the crazy reason why I'm currently paying my subscription but not using anything. But as I said, I really loved, and I wish I could get my stupid Google speakers speak anything as good as that. The Croatian language is terrible. My wife hates that my system responds only in English language, but we do not have control in Croatian language. And also for the warnings and real text-to-speech notifications, if I would use Croatian language, it sounds like a robot from the cartoons from the 1950s or something like that. So it's terrible. And I love Nabukasa text-to-speech. But I did try it, and they were really pushing for people to use it, but I said, I know, as I said, this is really stupid thing for me, but I really did want to have, you know, some kind of thank you each month going from me, and because of that, maybe I will get second subscription or my second email or whatever, and then use it for testing purposes, because yeah, I will need to do something similar. Mark, I didn't know that. I didn't check it. One thing that I'm really disappointed is the assistant relay. I was talking about it. I think it was even before the new year that I will be trying to implement. Yeah, when I was talking about my 1 year later personal my setup 1 year later revisited, I did mention that one of the things that my wife hates is when I have text-to-speech notification in the middle of whatever she's listening, and of course, it doesn't resume then the whatever she was listening. So, one of the ways to overcome this was to install Assistant Relay and to use it. And I did test it. I had a couple of automations created that use Assistant Relay, but I do not have faith in that project. So the project is really two projects. First of all, when I cannot figure out, what are the dependencies, or what are the how is one project related to the other? There are two projects. They have both same name, and one is for the add-on version, and the other one is Docker version. I think that add-on version should follow the Docker version, because the Docker version was the original version. But it seems that issues between the versions are not pushed. It's not pushed to the main branch. The latest release of the main version was more than a year ago. There are a lot of issues. There's been a talk about new version for over a year and things like that. So I still have it installed in my system, but I'm not using it. The other problem I had was it was losing the Google Assistant token, meaning that you would have to do the whole integration, or you would need to connect every couple of days or weeks your Assistant Relay with the Google account to give it authorization to use your personal data. It was working as a concept great, but I had at the end I'm waiting to see if the project will get picked up and improved or not. Same thing, for example, as ESP Home. Although the ESP Home was never abandoned in such a way this project, in my opinion, is. But it's really good to see now. ESP Home had phases when it was like release, then 6 months of nothing, not even a word or letter of change or anything. So it's really great to see the ESP Home got picked up by the Home Assistant crew and Nabukasa, and they will now be more tightly integrating it inside Home Assistant. And I'm also great because when I was on the crossroads, my decision was to go more towards the ESP Home than to go towards the Tasmota, and my bet, I won. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, let's see what we have here. Nothing. Google Cast, which is great. Now you will be able to configure it. Now in future you will be able to configure Google Cast from the UI only, but if you have problem with the MDNS, you will also be able to input the IP address there. Core custom integration. Okay, this is something that they were threatening, and yeah, that's it. So next thing that I didn't plan to talk about in this stream, really didn't plan to talk about it, is something that I woke up to, and this is this, which really was I was surprised to see this. Where is it? Yeah. So if you are using DS 420J, 2020J, 418J, 218 plate, 118, and you have DSM 6.2.4, which is the latest update, and BTRFS, you can really say goodbye to your system. So there was a lot of people that are angry, and I really do need to say that I cannot understand how they were able to have such an issue before and to fix it now with such with some such consent. Okay. So they had issue before, and the issue was that if you would have those systems listed here, you would be able to install BTRFS, which was not officially supported. And the consequence, of course, of this is that with the latest update, they fixed it. But there are a lot of people that have been using those systems and implemented BTRFS file system. And with the latest update, their systems got bricked, which is really something that is, terrible from the user perspective, because your system officially doesn't support that file system, but during the installation process you allowed me to select the file system. I selected the file system, I used it for, we have here devices from the 2018, so I used the system for 2-3 years, and then you bring a patch that really breaks the system, meaning that the next step for you, in order for you to get the data out of the system, is to remove hard drives from the synology that you are using and to put it inside a new or a device that supports BTRFS. So this is unfortunately really strange issue, and there is no way for you to move your data if you already updated, besides, as I said, connecting it to either to the PC or to other synology, or and getting data from there. And it's really strange. We talked about it on the Discord. Oh, by the way, I have new button here. Let me see if it works. Of course it doesn't. Oh, yes, it does. Sorry. How do I improved my Stream Deck here? Okay. I even have sound effects. I was spending 4 hours yesterday after the work trying to fix the mic, to get it working, to be able to control music. I don't know if you can hear the music. There should be music in the background, and it should be really low. But I also played with Stream Deck and finally added those two most frequent URLs. So this was for the Discord server, and I also have this one. Yep, working also. Nice. So I'm really happy. Okay, stop talking about it. So the problem is, as I was saying, this is really a big issue, because if you allow customer or your client to do something, really allow it, and you present that as an option, you should good thing that you said. As I said, I really do have to play with it. This wavelength from the Elgato is great, but I'm still fighting with it. So this means that my filter, this one, this, close. Music should be now always. You can always now hear music, if I'm correct. Okay, so as I said, thank you, Mario. It should be. Thank you, really. Thank you, Mario. I'm really. The mic is great. The ability to control the mic is perfect, really perfect. I know that a lot of people are not interested in this technical stuff, but Lee was talking. He was looking for a mic for his radio broadcast. There are tons and tons of things that you can do with it, but it's completely opposite story of what I had before. And So if you look at the OBS, I don't know if anybody has seen work with the OBS or not. So OBS has you know, you add various scenes. For example, scenes can be, you know, stream starting, mainstream, or recording scene, or things like that. Then inside each scene you add sources. Sources can be whatever. It can be web browsers, display, microphones, cameras, overlays, whatever. And some of the sources are audio sources, and audio sources can be microphone, can be, for example, webcam, can be I have headset with the microphone, or this can be system sounds. And when I first played with the stream settings, even before my first ever stream, I was setting it up, and I had private stream with a couple of my friends just to check if everything is working, if the sound is okay, if everything is working as it should. And because of the wavelength, I had to remove everything, because wave microphone uses wavelength software, and wavelength software, I will show you, here how it looks. It really takes over all of your system. So it's like a mixing platform. So I have my microphone here. This is Pretzel Rocks. It's a free music for the streams or whatever, because it doesn't have any copyright stuff and things like that. This is sounds coming from the browser, and when I press those sound effects, it should show up here. Let me try this one. As you can see, so it mixes everything. I can choose here what will be the volume for each of these components going to the stream, and this stream then goes to the OBS, and OBS only shows one bar for the sound, for the audio. So it's really hard, and when I listen, I'm using this monitoring mix or this stream mix, I'm really not hearing the music or sound coming from the OBS. I'm hearing it coming from the wavelength. So I do not have ability to be able to listen in to the stream without, for example, opening the web browser and opening YouTube here and listen to it. But I went, sorry. Sorry. Mark, no, I'm not. No, you cannot. The problem is that after people, where's the original link? I think that Mattia, did you post it on the, let me open Discord. And I think it was here. Or was it here? Let me see. Sorry. Nope. Nope, this is not the link. It's gone. The image that was here is gone. There was the image from the DSM. Nope, still it's gone. It's gone. Somebody edited the post and you cannot see it anymore here. So there was the problem is that if you Pedro, none of the plus devices were affected. These were just the J's and plays devices that are the other segment of this synology spectrum. So none of the plus devices were affected. But the problem is that Mark, that synology would brick your system, meaning that if when you update it, it would notify you that your disk were not supported, but it would also unmount your volumes. So in effect, you do not have any access to your data. So you could not retrieve by using the external disk. The only good thing would probably if you would have backup or something, to retrieve from the backup, or to use friend's device or buy a new device. But then again, a lot of people that were using, for example, 418 Play or 218 Play device will never go with the 420 Plus device now, because they will be very mad at Synology for allowing such a problem. Yeah, Lee. Yeah, see. Thanks. So that's the biggest issue. No, you do expect them to be. Yeah. Yep. It will be very. It is, no matter how, no matter what, but it is really bad, and that would be really terrible. That would really be terrible. So this is really strange stuff, and I think that Mattia posted on the Discord. I cannot. Maybe I can somehow drag current list of the issues with the. Okay, whatever this is. Slacker Labs, welcome. How do I change this? Okay, sorry. Slacker Labs, nice seeing you here, and thank you for the membership. So, okay, my Google telling me that the sun has set. So VM with the broken connectivity via VNC. TVDB database was removed. BTRFS removed for many recent models. So this is, it's like you're driving your Tesla, and Tesla just releases the firmware and said, no, your engine doesn't exist anymore, and just pulls your engine out. You have still the car, you have batteries, you have even the computer, but yeah. Breaking curl with the HTTPS connection, performance diminishing on 10 gigabits, drive warnings on XS Plus units, frame rate decay on the surveillance station, iSCSI loons, problems with creation or broken connectivity. So there are a lot of things going on with the 6.2.4 release. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised about it, and that's one of the things that I mentioned at the start of the stream. So I work in the IT, but I'm a sales guy. But I also work with a lot of clients. I'm key account manager, talking about their issues, problems, stuff on how to improve everything, blah 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 blah. And we do a lot of stuff for a lot of companies worldwide, and I do really mean worldwide. And different companies have different aspects of patching their system. These can be even, let's call it like that, mandatory security updates, or standard monthly roll-ups for the exchange or whatever. So you have your system and it's working great. What happens if there is a patch that kills it? I know that a couple of months ago, or maybe a year, or no, even more than that, there was one patch for one company that we had a lot of issues with, because we had to stop all of our clients from implementing that patch, because that patch would make systems unusable or something like that. I'm using now Synology for 6-7 years, 15. I think I'm using it 7+ years. And in those 7+ years, I've migrated. I think that the first version of the DSM I was on was version 4. something. And it was great. It looked very similar to what it is today, but it was definitely different. The operating system underneath was different. The user rights management was different. It was more of a, DIY Linux-based operating system with a nice graphical user interface on top. And when you log into the shell, you could do whatever you want to do. I could install everything, I could play with everything, and it was working like a typical Linux machine. And with each of the upgrades, Synology has been improving stuff, and people don't like improvement because improvement can sometimes mean removing the power or ability to do something. And for example, one of the biggest issues when they upgraded from version 5 to version 6 was how the user rights were handled and what the local users were or were not able to do when they log in through the terminal. I hated that change. I really did hate that change. But when I look at it from the long-term perspective, this change was brought in so that users that do not know what they are users that do not know what they are doing would not make any significant change to the system that would impact the overall stability of the system. So the first goal of Synology was always to keep the stability, the runtime, availability of the system high. And I did experience 2 or 3 DSM updates in those 6-7 years, and this 6.2.4 version is looking like it's like that. That would hinder your system, make it unavailable, break it, make your data unavailable, or things like that. So that's why my main setup is always on the N-1 or N-2. I know some of my clients that do exchange themselves are always, for example, on one rollback behind. So when the new rollback or new patch is released, then they start implementing the one before that, just to be sure that everything is working smoothly. So why I was telling this for the last half an hour is that if you have a lot of systems to manage, then you probably are okay to enable automatic updates for the critical updates. Critical updates can be security things, and you really do want to have your system in terms of security patched as soon as possible. So if, for example, Synology releases some critical security update, you want to have that update ASAP. But for the other updates, you may opt out and use manual installation, and this is something that I do, just like I wait week, 2 weeks, months, even sometimes a couple of months to see if there are any big issues with the current DSM update. If there are no, then I just update. Also take into consideration for what your system is used. So for example, if you put this in a case of Home Assistant, let's imagine that you have your home setup, that you are controlling Alexa, Google devices, TVs, heating, cooling, whatever. Everything is controlled by Home Assistant, and Home Assistant is running in a virtual machine on that machine. And you lose all the data on that hard drive. Do you have backup? If you do have backup, how long will it take you for you to roll the virtual machine on some other host? Do you have some other host where to run it? So you have to take into consideration what is all the stuff that you're running on your host, and depending on how critical your data is, can you live without that data or without that system for a minute, hour, day, week, month, or half a year? Probably there will be some way to overcome this. I don't know what will they do for the existing users that did upgrade and lose availability to data, but maybe they will be rolling out a new 6.2.4, and this is not the first 6.2. There was already 6.2.4 that was pulled back and new version was released. So maybe they will stop the update, maybe they will limit it for those models, maybe, but I really don't know what they will do. But this can have really big impact on your system. So that's why I'm very conservative in terms of what I allow my systems to do automatically and where I want to have my hands-on and not let system do stuff that it doesn't, I cannot control. And I'm saying this as a very satisfied Synology user. Don't get me wrong. This is something just you have to weigh in how much time would I need to roll back everything, what would be the price of me losing all my data. You know, I have here 20,000+ photos from my family for the last 10 plus 15, 20 years maybe. I have here my production folder contains all the videos, raw data, raw images for my YouTube channel. Does it have a price tag? Probably nobody would pay that, but for me it's worth millions, not thousands. It's worth millions, because I will never be able to get that data from somewhere else. What I can do, I can download from the YouTube videos I released, but this is already processed video, raw data, raw videos, all the goofs, all the things that were never released, they are on my production folder. So what would be the price of that? I also have storage. This is like SIA, or how it's called, you know, cryptocurrency based cloud sharing system, storage. I have Node for them, and this is I wouldn't even call it part-time project, because I really like the concept, I really like the idea. So I shared my disk space, and I've been sharing it for 3 years. And I have, because I'm in that system, I have SLA to you know, they have SLA. I have to be up 99.95% of the time, and they have 6 nodes that are constantly testing availability of my system. So whenever we had earthquake, each hour of power loss, I was also closer to the possibility to be, you know, removed from their network, and I would really have to once again reapply, go through all the steps to be able to you know, land my free space on my machine. And this was really job. This was really not a job. This was really a project that it was fun. I did it for nothing. They did pay me something in those, not bitcoins, sorry, in this Ethereum tokens, but it was worth nothing. And then the last week they jumped 2,000%, or not 2,000. They jumped from 0 point something US dollars to $3 and one, you know, you get project that really doesn't mean anything. On the other side, it starts bringing you cash. So would you lose that project? Would you lose that money? Is this real money? And also on my system, I have somebody else's data. So, you know, responsibility. So sorry, I went maybe too far with this, but I really wanted to say that you have to be careful with the, not just with synology. This really goes with any system. Is it a Windows update? There were Windows updates that you would push and that would break something or make something unworkable or whatever. You had to reinstall your computer. So it doesn't happen that often. It doesn't happen for synology that often. But this time there is a problem for the very limited amount of people that were able to install something on their system that they shouldn't be able to install, that they were allowed to use for a prolonged period of time, and then without warning, you know, the system was bricked. So in my opinion, this is a big problem. Yeah. Am I still here? Sorry. Okay. But let's talk about more fun stuff. I brought this box here. And let's go through the fun stuff. It is, yeah, it is, but I wouldn't, you know, yeah, maybe that's it, but yeah, it will never be open source. It will never be open source. So everybody knows my old project, Geiger-Miller counter. Alexei is probably not here. I don't know if I've showed this on a stream or not. This is my future Geiger-Miller counter. So I really was happy with the like say to send me those links, and I found a lot of projects that allow you to either do DIY or convert some of the existing stuff from the ESP or Wi-Fi network to the Zigbee. Oh, the Zigbee network. And let me just pull this bag out. So at one point in one of my mail day videos, I showcased this. This is a relay that allows you to control it through this small ESP board. This is ESP01, and it's. I know that some people had problem with those relays in terms of when you power them on and off, they were flicking the device, they were controlling with the relay and things like that. But one of the projects I'm currently working, or I'm still waiting for some parts to arrive, is to convert from the ESP01 to Zigbee to MQTT. So this still is missing the module. I know that Johnny has seen it and he said that he has some of them too. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so these are the Zigbee modules. You have to solder 4 or 5 legs here. This is the programming pins go here, and you put it on the on the relay board, and then it will show up in a Zigbee to MQTT or whatever as a Zigbee device, and you will be able to use it to control the relay, but this time not using the Wi-Fi network, but instead you can use the Zigbee network. And I really do love the idea of us being able to create Zigbee devices, not just buy ready-made devices. So the next project I will be working on is to convert this Geiger-Miller counter, which needs ESP board for not just power but to send data to the Home Assistant, and I'm using the ESP Home here for the data inside the Home Assistant, and instead of that I will be soldering or making DIY Zigbee Geiger-Miller counter, also working with the Zigbee to MQTT. So here there will be either 1 or 2 tubes. For me, I will be currently using only 1 tube, but if you have 2 tubes, the measurements will be more precise. So whoever wants to do that project can do it with 2 tubes. You put here power, USB power, and this is also router. So meaning that if you add this inside your network, Zigbee network, it will not just show up as a Zigbee to MQTT radiation, beta radiation counter, but it will also enable you to extend your network. So I will be making one. At the end, I will only make 2 of those boards for myself, but I think I bought 5 boards, if not 10. And I will have a lot of leftover parts, so I will be giving them away in the future. The giveaway will be probably at the time I release that video. So this is one of the projects. The other one is this. So when I release video with this, I will also be giving away. I have 10 of those, so I will probably keep, I don't know, 5 and give 5 away. You will have to buy some of the components. Most of the components that I have extra, I will include with those boards that I'll be giving away. But for example, I do not have extra Zigbee models. I buy it. I think they cost $2 or $3 on the AliExpress, so I buy them on the AliExpress. So yeah, this is something that I'm working. So parts did start to arrive. For example, these are the surface mount USB ports. These are the pots or variable resistors that are needed for the Geiger-Miller counter. These are the holders for the J305 tubes. Those tubes are used to measure the radiation. Yeah, so there is really a lot of stuff that I'm currently in process of gathering. So I'm still not working on them. I will not start soldering components because I'm still missing about 90% of all the components for all the projects. But I'm slowly gathering, and when I get everything for one project, I will finish it and release video about it and do a small. These are nothing. But one thing that I do not have still here is the boards that are arriving, and they should be probably next week here. These are something that Pezor would love, but no, he doesn't. He will not. I shared the project with him, but for his use they are not enough. So I will be making. When I said making, I'm copying open source projects, and I'll be trying to make them, because if I can solder that, anybody can. Really, anybody can. And by the way, here is a new tip for the soldering iron. This will be the main beast to do all the projects. So I will be building DIY home irrigation system for the potted plants, and this is the I can. Nope. These are. I think I already posted them. These are the Russian sites, but I know Russian. That's a long story. I'm not Russian, but I really do know Russian language. But I did try Google Translate on the pages, and it worked sufficient. Let me just give me a second. Where is it? Okay. So this is the water irrigation system I will be building. So, okay. Let me post this link here. This is really fun project. So these are really I love DIY stuff. I'm sorry. I always wanted to be more technical. I wanted to be more technical than I really am, so I can follow those projects. I understand the concept, but I cannot, give you overview of what everything goes inside. So, but this is a great one. I already ordered the box for this. I ordered all the parts. I finally did manage to find the pumps. This was really the biggest issue. So you have two components of the system. One are the plant sensors, and for this project I will be also ordering 30 plant sensors. I think that I will keep 10 and 20 I will be giving away. The reason why I will be ordering 30 is I will be okay, let me show you here. So this is version 3. So these are the DIY plant sensors, Zigbee plant sensors. Come on. Is my internet link working or the site fell? Excellent collection. Okay, so the idea of this project, how it was developed, is to be able to order it from the GLC PCB, not just the boards but also the assembly. All the components are located on one side, and when you order them you receive batches like this, and one batch of 10 I think cost is just from the top of my head 10 costs $60 or something like that, and 30 costs 80. So the biggest cost here is the preparation, time and effort needed to gather the materials and everything. The quantity of material used by those boards is really insignificant. The most expensive component there is the Zigbee module. This is the module itself. But as I said, ordering 10 more raises the price 10%. So that's why I'm probably ordering 30, even maybe more than 30. And I will be keeping 10 for myself for play, whatever, to have myself. Others I will be giving away. And funny thing is that this one is also already supported inside the Zigbee to MQTT. So the only thing that you will need to do, and in the case of those that I order, I will do it for everybody, is to program them. This is one of the reasons why I still didn't even solder this project, because I'm waiting for the programmer. A programmer is something similar to the programmer that you used if you had CC2531 stick. It's similar, but you cannot use that programmer. It has to be a bit different programmer. So yeah, I'm waiting for the programmer to arrive to be able to program the Zigbee processor. When I program it, it will out of the box be able to pair with whatever Zigbee network you have. The device itself is already working inside Zigbee to MQTT. Let me show you here. Let's open Z. I just type Z and it already knows where to go. For DIY Rus. Okay. So these are all the DIY Zigbee projects that are already available inside Zigbee to MQTT. You just have to build them themselves. So this is a 4-channel relay and 4 switches plus buzzer, DIY keyboard, contact sensor. This is the project I was showing you, the relay switch, button keypad. This is something else. This is the Geiger-Miller counter, relays, and this is the flower pot. It's missing here watering, but I know that also the watering part is done. So if you have inside your Zigbee network those flower sensors and this water pump, it detects that the water is that the humidity of the soil is too low, and it automatically instructs the water pump to start one of the pumps. So for example, you have 3 pots. You have, I don't know, bottle with water next to it. You have hose with the water going from the bottle to this pump and then to each of those flower pots. And when the humidity of the soil falls below a certain threshold, it knows what pump to start. And since the pump itself is very slow, it will never overflow in terms of Zigbee missing to send data to the system to stop the pump. The pumps are really slow. So it enables you really to have autonomous system to control, to water your plants. And I love the idea. This is why I ordered everything to build 2 of them. And for now, I plan to use, I have 3 plants that are hard to access. They are on a higher ledge and yeah, long story. So I will be using this system to try to control and see if I can completely automate the watering of those plants during the summer, which was one of the issues previously we had. And I really love the idea how everything is really tied together. Pesor is working also on the high grow part of that in terms of he's building a different version of the watering system that is for greenhouses, meaning that it controls, it is able to control much higher volumes of water on more plants. But for the home users, having 3 plants with 3 sensors is something that is it's different, segment, different beats. But I think that it's really nice to have a project for people living in apartments. So those are a couple of things that I'm currently working on. I'm really happy for Alexei, because he showed me the page, and then I started browsing the projects and I decided to go in that direction. So that's something that I'm currently, I have 30 packages currently in the process of delivery. And okay, most of them are 1 item only, but there are some packages that have 20 or 40 surface mount components and things like that. So my idea is to make a video to show how easy it is to do, to really see if a non-technical user can try and do it. Because for that I really will have to read a couple of 1,000 pages on how to program Zigbee modules, see how easy it is. It's in Russian language, but I really am looking forward to do it. And yeah, so these are a couple of things that I'm currently, I wouldn't say working because I'm just waiting, but yeah. Okay. Sorry, let me have a sip of Coke. Yeah, for this stream, I was waiting for I ordered cup. I made a cup that I would be using on my stream, but unfortunately, due to Brexit, those transit times or shipping times, they say I ordered it from the Canva, and they said it will take yeah. I don't think that I will cover that. I will cover definitely that part in the English. I don't think that they will translate anything, but I will be posting on the Discord server in the Zigbee category. I will be posting links to the GitHub pages. There isn't that much documentation there, but all the documentation that exists for each of those projects is in English. And for each of the projects, there is a bill of material, Gerber files for the PCBs. So you really, and even current videos that exist are in the Russian. But as I said, I will be making English videos because I really do think that this is really, everybody's talking about ESP Home. This is next level. Don't get me wrong. This is really next level. Can I open the link, Johnny? Nothing, no, nudes or something like that. It is similar. It is similar. It is similar. Let me go like this. Let me change it like this. So if we go to the back, this one, it is currently limited to 3 pumps. In theory, if somebody is good with electronics, understands the boards and everything, you can expand it. And as you can see, really their components are almost none. So we have here the Zigbee module. This is something, some logic level shift or whatever. 4 switches, 3 connections for the 3 pumps. These pins here are used for the programming. These are LEDs. Here is a connector where you can connect the external contact sensor. So for example, you can use this is a mic connection. You can use it to just leave 2 wires hanging inside the pot where the flowers is, and if the water ever reaches those 2 wires, it would shorten out and stop the pumps. So look, these are the pins. This is for the Zigbee module, and as you can see, not all the legs have to be soldered, so 50% of legs. Switches, I think that this is a logic level shifter or something like that. Capacitor, this is, I forgot how it's called. Yeah, okay, never mind. LEDs, and that's it. Resistors, and that's it. So this whole project is, I don't know, 10 components or something like that. And it's really great. I really love the idea of having it working. I will definitely send it to the Paul Hibbert for the review because he likes reviewing the Zigbee devices. So I will definitely be making one and sending it to him for the review to see if there is any kind of a corporate grid inside of that. So yeah. Okay. So it's really interesting how people this is the complete project, so this is it. It's 5 components or something like that. Yeah, so I really do love this idea. I will not be making this one. This is a CO2 sensor. These are the older versions of the Zigbee sensor. This is the Zigbee relay for the 8 channels. This is radioactivity sensor. This I already showed how to convert the ESP01s to Zigbee. This project is adding Zigbee to the power, how it's called, power distribution, power box, whatever. Okay, how you can exchange the guts of the Xiaomi sensor and make it ESP/Zigbee. Yeah. As I said, I'm zero. My knowledge with electronics stopped with the ZX80 processor, and that's it. I know. I will definitely be. But listen, it was 1 o'clock. I'll unfortunately always go very late to bed. I was looking like renewal of the Xiaomi Gateway. I was like, how to renew? I was like, okay, let me see that. I don't want to buy it because I don't think that I want to have Xiaomi Gateway. And I was looking and I said, oh my god. So you guys removed the original board from the Xiaomi and created your own one that allows you to either use Zigbee, to have 2 types of the Zigbee controls inside, to have the ESP board, so you can also have Wi-Fi, your own firmware. I was like, this is really next level. This is really next level. And that's not it. You can have external antenna, but then also if you're bored, you can add some things more. Where are the LEDs? A custom case, LEDs there. Okay, yeah, it's really next level thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. To measure motion, then water pumped. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Oh, by the way, I cannot get it up. Need to stretch. My printer is still here. Funny thing is that as I said a couple of nights ago, my Docker crashed or whatever, and the only way I knew that something happened was 2 notifications. First one was the thermal printer. It started printing MQTT connection lost, and I found a bug which I need to figure out how to fix in the firmware. Is that it will continue to print line every 5 seconds, meaning that if you're not home in 5 minutes, it would just use all the paper it has inside of it. And that's I had to disconnect the printer because of it, because I didn't know what's going on. I tried to reset it. I did reset it, and it did connect to Wi-Fi, everything, but couldn't connect to the MQTT server, which was really strange because I know that at that point I was sitting here. I know that I didn't do anything, and a couple of minutes later, I got notification on the speakers in the living room and also on my watch. Home Assistant started, and I was like, okay, I didn't update anything. Then I went to the Synology Docker and see that all the containers have been running for the 11 minutes. Every single one of them, even those that were previously stopped by hand. So I have a couple of Docker containers that exist in the system, but they are not running. So yeah, that's when my influx database updated also, and now I have to, unfortunately, also I have to finally play with the with the InfluxDB and get it up and running, the latest version with the Home Assistant, which is not something I'm looking forward, because as far as I have seen from the Grafana, I didn't check this for a couple of weeks, but 10 days, 15 days ago I did check, and still there were, I wouldn't call it issues, but the Grafana updates haven't been aligned with the InfluxDB status, so they were still working on some things to make it as plug and play as possible for the newer version for the InfluxDB. But on the other hand, this video will not be released definitely next week. Next week I'm planning to release Portainer, and after that we will have to see where this will be going, because all those channel members, really thanks everybody, and Slacker Labs, so thank you once again for joining the channel. They have access to the additional Discord channel, and there I talked about it, and if everything goes as it should, on Monday I'm expecting a big delivery, and some of you may guess what's in the box. So depending on what arrives, how it arrives, what is missing, what I'll have to do to get it up and running, my priorities for the, not next video, as I said, next video will definitely be the Portainer run, because I do not have time to do anything with that box that will be arriving on Monday. But yeah, I really do hope to play a lot with this new box that will be arriving. So it will be fun. It will be really fun. A good thing is that next week I'm work from home, so my travel times to the office will be much shorter. I don't know if anybody has seen that joke, pandemic joke. Guy just waking up from the bed, his mobile phone is ringing. He just got out of the bed, walking out of the bedroom, and he said, oh, sorry, did I wake you up? No, I'm halfway to my office. And he's just walking to his desk near the bedroom. So yeah, travel times to the office next week will be much shorter, but I also have some meetings with the client. So yeah, but I do hope that my evenings will be, usually my evenings are much, I have more free time when I'm at work from home than when I'm in the office, because when I'm in the office, unfortunately, I do not have time to do small things, and all the small things then I have to do later on when I come home. So yeah, okay, so 7:37. Complex parts includes the board. Okay, so let's check. Any questions, any topics for the end of the stream? I really should. I hate. I have my old headphones, which are great, but this is also annoying because I hear music and my voice, which is about half a second later than what I'm saying. So, and on the other hand, this is really quiet. My flat is empty. My dog has gone somewhere, probably sleeping. And I feel like I'm the only person in the world alive, except the chat when something happens there. Oh, I forgot one thing. Slacker Labs for you. It's such a stupid thing, but the only I really love this. The Elgato really has a great setup for the streamers, and I do wish that music is gone. Not anymore. I probably hit the pause when I click that. So I really do love Elgato stuff, but I'm only streaming. I wish I would be able to stream more than once a month. Zigbee make a website as I missed it. No problem, Mark. I think I still have it. But this is the Russian site. As I said, I tested it with the Google Translate, and it really did work great. And also, you can always find me in the Discord. Sense if you cannot translate something or something is not clear, you can always ask me. Yeah. So with the Elgato Stream Deck, you start looking at what you can do with it. And I'm not a gamer, although I do play Minecraft from time to time. And by the way, if anybody's interested, I have my private Minecraft server. Send me a message on Discord, and yeah, I will open it up. But I haven't been on it for the 10 days, 2 weeks, I don't know, something like that. So most of the things that gaming streamers use, I will never use. But there is a great app called, let's see, like this. Let me just remove the box, it's covering my screen. It's called Voice Mod. A soundboard is similar to Voice Mod. I don't know if you've seen the Voice Mod. I love it. So when the mic arrived, mic is really great. By the way, Lee, mic is really great. Allows you a lot of stuff. It has special podcast / radio recording mode. So it's really great. The biggest issue for me is you have to be very, very careful with it because it's really able to pick up a lot of sound. So when I was testing it yesterday, my kid was watching TV. The day before that, kids were in the room playing. And on the headset, I could hear them talking, while here I couldn't, but the mic was picking up it from the other room. So just say it's really great, but you do have to tweak out the noise filter, noise gates, things like that. And as you can see, I did tweak them well so that the music stopped playing when I didn't talk. So I still have a lot of things to play. But as I said, voice mode, I played with the kids for hours. Even my wife loved it because it can change your voice to whatever. You can be alien, beast, zombie, sound like you are singing in a cathedral, underwater sounds. It's really great. Definitely not something that that I will be probably ever using it here on the stream. But then when the stream ends, I play and sing to myself in an alien voice, or change gender, or turn my voice into kids and turn my kids into the adults and things like that. So that yeah, definitely not something that you would use, but you will have fun with it. So anybody, if anybody wants to play, it's called Voice Mode. Let me try to find a link to it. And I think it's free. Yeah, it's free. Okay, let me post it. So if anybody wants to play with the voice and has free time, yeah. Nah, I don't have affiliate link. I don't even know why I bothered with the affiliate links on the AliExpress. No, I don't have affiliate link, but I will send you a link. So yeah, it's I did. Oh yeah, one other big investment I made. This is the best useless heavy piece of equipment I bought in the last, I don't know how long time. And I really didn't buy it. So I don't know if anybody's on the Twitter and seen it on Twitter. So I do my video editing in DaVinci Resolve. And DaVinci Resolve, if you look at the video content a lot of YouTubers are creating, most of them are using Adobe. And Adobe is really great. You have to give your kidney for it because you have to pay a subscription fee for it. You pay it continuously. With each new update, you get some new free bugs that you didn't want. But yeah, so a lot of people are using the Adobe to edit video. And when I was starting to check what options were there, I was also looking how easy it is to use the software, where I can use it. Do I have to get Mac? Can I use it on the Intel PC, on the laptop, desktop, performance, blah 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 blah. And everybody definitely was at that point doing Adobe. I don't know how I even found this DaVinci Resolve, this Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve software. So it's whole studio, meaning that you get cutting. This is the crude cuts of the material. Then you have editing page. Then you have sound, really professional sound. Then you have how it's called, fusion. And I was looking like, okay, this looks complex, but it ended up, for the things I use it didn't end up being too complex, meaning I could learn, do fundamentals, what I needed, to cut scenes, to edit something, to remove something, to do time lapses, to lower voice, clean the voice, add audio tracks. Things. It was relatively easy, and the software is free, meaning that for the lifetime, if you now download it, you can use the whole package of everything included inside the software for free. And then you look at the references and see, for example, Doctor Strange, Marvel, Doctor Strange movie, editing was done in this software. So, okay, so you have software that is used by the Marvel to edit, movies with the, I would say, the most intense post-processing of the video. This is done in the DaVinci Resolve, and you're giving it away free. While on the other hand, you have Adobe and people just saying that they hate it because the latest update broke everything. So as I said to myself, okay, so they have free version, they have studio version. Studio version is really more for the studios. It allows you the collaboration, which I do not know with whom I would collaborate on editing the video because I'm editing currently myself. So there are some stuff that studio version has over the free version, but in terms of usability, no, you do not gain anything extra special in terms of that. Okay, the video processing power is distributed more towards the graphic cards, not to the CPU. But then again, if I have, 15-minute video, it takes maximum 15 minutes for it to be processed at the 1080p I'm doing. And the license for the software is one time, meaning that you have to pay, $299, and you get lifetime full-blown studio license for this software. And currently they were having a promotion. They just released this keyboard. If you buy the license of the software, you receive also this keyboard. Yeah, I really do not know what I'll do with it. I did try to cut a video with it, but there are two ways of cutting videos. One is the cut page, the other one is the edit page. This is intended for the cut page, and cut page is more for the documentaries when you have a lot of same shots, 3 cameras doing shots from different angles, and then you want to, combine them and things like that. I only have one camera, and this is this camera or my video camera or mobile camera shooting, and then I have a long shot. So yeah, so I now have big device, but on the other hand, I also did play with the knob because you can, control video like in a normal studio with this wheel, and I was like, you know, making like JPEGs or GIFs. So, you know, just moving myself like this and doing dance for 20 minutes and just moving the knob left and right, left and right, left and right. So it was fun. But yeah, this is something that I will definitely not be not be playing or working with. Hi Mohan, welcome. You are just in time for me to wrap up the stream. Sorry. Yeah, I've been talking for almost 2 hours now. I'm approaching my throat will start killing me mark. So let me test once again my buttons. This should now be posting the link to the Discord server. Yay! Working. If anybody has any questions, maybe before we wrap up the stream. If not, we'll be wrapping it up. Slacker Labs, once again, really thank you. Thank you to all the members really who joined the channel. Yeah, I will be preparing something special for the members. Yeah, Mario Tomšić, thanks you for the super chat. Thanks you. Thanks. No problem, Mohan. I didn't say anything. As you can see, we were talking about the real-time voice changer. Nothing related to Home Assistant. No, just we finished everything up, and I was talking about the last thing I was talking about was the real-time voice changer. Yeah. So if there is no other questions, I will be definitely wrapping up the stream. I really had fun. I hope that you had fun too. This looks like, you know, game streamer setup, but I did invest a lot in the Elgato stuff. So mic is Elgato, this stream deck is Elgato, this light is Elgato, and this behind me, which you cannot see, is green screen, is from Elgato. I don't know if anybody has seen my video where I unboxed the first green screen. This is the fabric that I had. It's really great, but you will never be able to get this fabric to be straightened out. So I bought this roll-up Elgato, and it's so easy. Previously I had like 10-15 minutes before I start stream. I had to, you know, put everything together, straighten everything down. This one I just open it up in a couple of seconds. When the stream is finished, I will just roll it down, put it on the under the bed, and that's it. Mario, hvala puno još jednom. Thanks everybody for joining the stream. You can always find me at the Discord server, but yeah, everybody knows that. And Mohan, I hope that you will enjoy the stream. We did cover some stuff in regard to the... Yeah, unfortunately, no. I would really love it to be sponsorship, but nope. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining, and if you have any questions, as I said, you can always find me on the Discord server. Thanks everybody, bye bye. And no, back in 5, button for ending. Oh, no, I will not be. Bye, thanks.